me darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away.
Oh, my love. Good afternoon to you all, ladies and gentlemen, and on behalf of Pauline's family, I welcome you as you have gathered to pay your respects to a good woman, Mrs. Pauline Ann Townsend. My name is Dudley Corbett, and I'm indeed honoured to be invited by Pauline. In fact, I'm under orders from Pauline to say farewell to her today. Thank you, Pauline. The service will take place here in the chapel, and then we will process to Burney Lawn Cemetery for interment, where Pauline will be laid to rest with her late husband, Paul. At the end of proceedings today, you are invited to come back here and join the family for refreshments and to catch up with people you probably haven't seen for a long time, and generally have a good old chinwag and share memories of this wonderful lady. The newspaper notice reads, Pauline Townsend, 1939 to 2026. Daughter of the late Alec and Kathleen Marriage, formerly of Mission Hill, and sister of Christine Kernan, beloved wife of Paul deceased, treasured mother and mother-in-law of Peter and Carla, Mark and Sharon, Simon deceased, Louise and Gerard, Ashley and Wendy. She was the adored granny of Kurt and Danielle, Matthew, Cade deceased, Dane and Katie, India and Joe, and Fletcher and Katie. I can still see that cheeky smile, and no doubt all of you people can as well. And she'd have a ready answer if you decided to spread a little bit of something her way. Stand by. As we bid farewell to Pauline, let us carry forward the love and the laughter that she brought into our lives. Although Pauline may no longer be with us in body, her spirit will forever echo in our hearts, reminding us to cherish each of those moments and to hold tightly to the bonds of family. Those we love and lose are forever connected to our heartstrings as we share beautiful memories in our time of sorrow. Pauline had a profound effect on the lives of those she touched and those who had the great pleasure of having known her. We welcome today to viewers from our live stream audio, and wherever you might be, we hope the reception is fine. And even though these people can't be with you in person today, they guarantee they are with you all in spirit and they share your sorrow today. I'll be calling on family members very shortly to deliver an amazing eulogy that they've written. But first of all, just a couple of little things as a lead in to the family members. There might be a couple of double ups here, but it doesn't matter much. A good yarn is worth repeating, someone told me. Pauline Ann Townsend was born on the 5th of February 1939 in England to Alec and Kathleen Marriage. One sister, Christine. Pauline's musical tastes were the Platters, the Righteous Brothers, and some of you people here today will be able to remember them. It's in the days when you could understand the words. Don't throw something at me. She loved people. She had some very, very close neighbours, and she spent a lot of time with some near and dear close neighbours. She was a Carlton Football Club fan, and congratulations on that particular choice. She loved Big John Nichols, and if anybody said anything about Big John, well, she'd fire up straight away. On television, she loved Dancing with the Stars, travel shows, Warren Mitchell, the English comedian. She loved the Mike Walsh Show, Dad's Army, and no doubt, being part of the family, she would have loved On the Buses. No dog or cat was ever allowed to come through the door into her spotlessly clean unit, but she did have some goldfish, and I believe that they always stayed in the bowl. They never got out and made a mess. She was granny, I'm told, to all and sundry, her own children and grandchildren, and other children that visited, and she was granny to all of them. She looked after all of them with a special love, and she regarded all these children as her own, and she looked after them accordingly. But anyway, that's enough for me. The true story of our dear friend is about to be unfolded as I call on Fletcher and India to come forward and to share this wonderful eulogy with us. Thank you. Stand by for some very interesting facts.
Pauline Ann Townsend, née Marriage, was born on the 5th of the 2nd, 1939, in Woking, England, a town in County Surrey, around 36 kilometres from central London. She was the first child born to Alec and Kathleen Marriage. Alec worked for the Metropolitan Police Department and Kathleen a homemaker. Pauline and her younger sister Christine, 3 years her junior, lived and schooled in the Woking area until she was around 12 years of age. It was around this time Alec and Kathleen decided England wasn't the place to raise their two daughters and decided to look for a better life in Australia. After a 6-week journey on ship, the family ended up settling in Penguin, initially living in the Neptune Hotel for a short period of time before they settled into their permanent home on Mission Hill. It proved to be an inspired decision, as the family loved their new life in the quiet seaside town, a far cry from the hustle and bustle of London. Pauline and Christine quickly found a group of friends who entertained themselves in the local area, spending their time hanging out at the beach or exploring on their bikes. However, Pauline's parents decided the best thing for their girls' education was to enrol them at Ladies Methodist College in Launceston, so it was off to boarding school. Pauline never really came to grips with her new school life, where Christine loved it and thrived in her new environment. At that time, Pauline always said the worst day of her life was boarding the bus back to Launceston for another term, and the best day was boarding the bus to come home. Pauline finished her days at Ladies Methodist College. Even though she made some good friends there, her heart was back in Penguin and the local community. Heading into her late teens, Pauline stepped up her social life and started going to some local dances, usually at the Sulphur Creek Hall, and progressing a little further afield to Ulverston and Burnie. It was around this time she met her future husband Paul, who she was married to for 59 years until his passing in 2018. Neither of Pauline's parents ever learnt to drive a car. Alec used to catch the train to APPM where he worked, and Kathleen walked to the local shopping precinct for daily essentials. Pauline, who was always fiercely independent, wasn't following in Mum and Dad's footsteps and started learning to drive. On the day of her driving test, she was quite nervous, not knowing what to expect. However, was pleasantly surprised when the local policeman, who also conducted the driving tests, said, "I just want you to drive up the main street, up past the school and back." Pauline was pleasantly surprised and passed. As they were doing the formalities, he said, "I knew you could drive because I quite often pass you when I'm coming into Penguin and you're going to Burnie." It was a whirlwind romance for Pauline and Paul, and they were married aged 20. Not long after their first child, Peter, came along, they moved into their first home in Stirling Street, Burnie, adjacent to Paul's parents, Roy and Clara. Whilst in Stirling Street, their second child, Mark, came along 3 years after Peter. The family was growing. Pauline and Paul were ambitious for their new family and had saved up enough money to start building their new home in Grandview Avenue. It turned out to be a tough period for the young family, with Pauline losing her third child, Simon, and her beloved father, Alec, passing away unexpectedly, leaving Pauline and Christine devastated, as they were both very close to their father, who had protected them from the trauma of emigrating from the other side of the world. Alec was a keen fisherman and gardener and had developed a beautiful self-sufficient garden full of homegrown fruits and vegetables. Sadly, it was too much work for Kathleen to handle, and they settled her into her new home in Paraka Street, Burnie. It had been a tough time for Pauline, but in true fashion, she fought her way back and welcomed her third child, Louise, the girl she always wanted. It seemed the young family had an inclination to move again and built their second home in Malonga Drive, the very first house in the new estate. The house produced their fourth child, Ashley. The family was complete. It was around this time Pauline went back to work. Her sister Christine had organised a job for her at the Voyager Motor Inn, where Christine also worked. Paul would come home from driving the buses, and Pauline would head off in her bright yellow Marina, a manual, of course. She fitted right in at the Voyager, saw a lot of people come and go, loved all the banter, and made some lifelong friends along the way. Pauline stayed at the Voyager until her retirement and ended up a valuable member of the housemating team.
Guess what? The family were off again, and this time they had bought their own little piece of paradise on West Morville Road, an 8-acre block with only an old barn in the back paddock. Paul and Pauline set about building their third home and hopefully their forever home. Pauline always did what she had to do, and it was tough raising 4 kids in a tent and a wooden shed built by Paul in the middle of winter. While their new house was being built, Pauline had found her place. She loved the cold, the freedom, the fresh air, and the wind spinning the clothesline around and around. Pauline was never an ambitious traveller, unlike her sister Christine, who had travelled the world. The day she landed in Tasmania, she never left. She loved the place so much. Her life was her family, and she would do anything for them. Her and Paul were happy to travel the state, taking the kids to sport, camping, fishing, carnivals, and community events. Both her and Paul were hard workers. They gave everything they could to their 4 children. Pauline always kept an immaculately clean house, and there was never a cat or dog ever put a toenail inside her house. Through necessity, times were tough. Pauline always cooked beautiful homemade meals so her kids would be healthy and thrive. As we all know, kids will be kids, and they all took their turn in testing Pauline's patience. However, every now and then things would erupt and Pauline could hand out a spray. One particular incident comes to mind. Mark and Ashley were hitting golf balls from the bottom paddock to the top of the hill in the second paddock and then hitting them back down. Paul and Pauline were standing at the woodpile watching them hit back down. Mark hit a ball a little right and a little long. It hit the woodpile and ricocheted sideways, hitting Paul in the eye, dropping him to the ground. At this stage, Pauline was hysterical. "You've killed him, you bastards. You've killed him, you bastards." Picking up the bow saw and hurling at them from 150 metres away. Ashley looked at Mark and said, "I'm not going down there yet." Paul recovered and they eventually laughed about it. On a sad note, it was around this time Pauline and Christine lost their mother Kathleen, aged 82. As all the kids gradually left home, Pauline and Paul settled into running their little hobby farm. They had a go at everything: cows, calves, pigs, sheep, goats, chooks, horses, and the odd tiger snake. Pauline loved farm life, fencing, cutting hay, picking up rocks, and especially cutting and stacking wood for her beloved wood heater. Unfortunately, in 2011, they had to sell the farm as Paul's health had deteriorated after a series of strokes, and they relocated to Platinum Drive in Burnie. Pauline was Paul's carer and did a superhuman job looking after him to the detriment of her own health. When she could cope no longer, he was moved into Yamina Park, where Pauline remained by his side until his passing in 2018. Pauline loved supporting her kids in their sporting endeavours, and it would be fair to say she was a passionate supporter, quite often producing some colourful language, occasionally getting under the skin of opposition players and supporters. She had a love-hate relationship with AFL and cricket, that meaning she loved the Carlton Football Club and hated everyone else and cricket. Being a Pom, she loved the England cricket team and hated Australia. It always created some interesting discussion at home. However, if knives, cups and plates started flying across the room, you knew it was time to back off. You would think as she got older she might mellow, but no. If you mentioned Dustin Martin, Matty Lloyd or Luke Hodge, among others, you would get the predictable, "that dirty bastard." Or if it was Dennis Lilly, Steve Smith or Mitchell Starc, you would get "that cheating bastard." After Paul's passing, Pauline always kept herself busy, interacting with her immediate and extended family and friends she had made in the community she lived. Her quiet time would be spent looking back through history books of the towns she had lived, especially Burnie and Penguin. She loved driving around all our coastal towns, reminiscing of times gone by. Her favourite drive would always be back to Penguin to park at Johnson's Beach, the place of her greatest childhood memories, and she would often recount the time she and 2 others saved the life of a man drowning in the surf. Pauline loved the simple things in life, was a selfless person with a beautiful nature who loved her family, especially her grandchildren. She was loved and respected within the community she lived and was the best mother anyone could ask for. As a final act of selflessness, Pauline prepaid for her own funeral and organised as much as she could, not wanting to put anyone out. She always said she would live to 100, and we're sure this positivity got her just shy of her 87th birthday. She can now be reunited with Paul, the love of her life, whom she missed greatly after his passing. Rest in peace, Pauline.
That was a wonderful effort from 2 very loved and loving grandchildren, and I think it's worth a generous round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, very well done. Pauline would have been so proud of that. And you might have noticed that Pauline did have a great command of the English language, and when she came out from England, it sounds like she learned a bit of Australian as well. We're about now to go back in time in Pauline's life per virtue of some family photographs that the family have lovingly selected, and we'll go back a year or 2 and see how your memories go. Thank you.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave, you know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well, you give me all your loving and your dirty loving, all your hugs and kisses and your money too. Well, you know you love me, baby. Still you tell me maybe that someday, well, I'll be blue. Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave, you know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. When you say goodbye, yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave, you know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well, when Cupid shot his dart, he shot it at your heart. So if we ever part, then I'll leave you. You sit and hold me and you tell me boldly that someday, well, I'll be through. Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day When you make me cry, you say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well, that'll be the day. That'll be the day. That'll be the day. That'll be the day.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Put your glad rags on, join me home. We'll have some fun when the clock strikes 1. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2, 3, and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the chimes ring 5, 6, and 7, we'll be right in 7th heaven. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Oh, when it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, I'll be going strong, and so will you. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 12, we'll cool off, then start rocking around the clock again. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
I did expect a few of you to get up, and you will notice on the cover of the service sheet today there's a little blue wren in the corner pictured there. Pauline loved the little blue wrens, and I'm reliably informed that she knew them all by their Christian names. No, she did love the little birds, and no doubt they would have returned that love. We've come very close to the end of our chapel service, my friends, and you are all invited to join the family as we transfer over on Pauline's final journey. But first of all, God made a wonderful mother, a mother who never grows old. He made her smile of the sunshine, and he moulded her heart of pure gold. In her eyes he placed bright shining stars. In her cheeks fair roses they grew. God made a wonderful mother, and he gave that dear mother to you. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll invite you now to stand as we commence to say our farewell from this place of our dear friend Pauline.
They asked me how I knew my true love was true. I replied, something here inside cannot be denied. Said someday you'll find all who love are blind. tears I cannot hide. So I smile and say, when her lovely flame dies, smoke gets in your eyes.
Smoke gets in your eyes.
Smoke gets in your eyes. They ask me how I knew my true love was true. I of course replied, something here inside cannot be denied. They said someday you'll find all who love are blind. When your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes. So I chaff them and I gaily laugh to think they could doubt my love. Yet today my love has flown away. I am without my love.
Without my love.
Now laughing friends deride, tears I cannot hide. So I smile and say, when her lovely flame dies, smoke gets in your eyes.
Smoke gets in your eyes.
Smoke gets in your eyes. They ask me how I knew my true love was true. I of course replied, something here inside cannot be denied. They said someday you'll find all who love are blind. When your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes. So I chaff them and I gaily laugh to think they could doubt my love. Yet today my love has flown away. I am without my love. Without my love. Now laughing friends deride, tears I cannot hide. So I smile and say, when a lovely flame dies, smoke gets in your eyes. Smoke gets in your eyes. Smoke gets in your my true love was true. I of course replied, something here inside cannot be denied. Said someday you'll find all who love are blind. When your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes. I chaff them and I gaily laugh to think they could doubt my love. Yet today my love has flown away. I am without my friends deride, tears I cannot hide. So I smile and say, when a lovely flame dies, smoke gets in your eyes. Smoke gets in your eyes.